Hey guys, and welcome to Let's Click Photography. My name's Dave, and today I'm just going to cover a setting in the Canon EOS R5, Canon EOS R6, Canon EOS R, and the RP as well, that seems to generate a little bit of confusion. So I'll share some knowledge and let you guys know why I use it, the subject matter that I use it on, so you can make an informed decision about whether or not you want to engage this setting. Now I'm going to show you this setting and let you listen to it as well, because the camera is going to let you know when I engage this setting. So this is the camera without the setting engaged. We've got the Canon EOS R6 with the Canon RF 85mm f2 attached to the front. I'm just going to be quiet for a second. Silent and perfectly still. Now I'm going to switch continuous autofocus on. Continuous autofocus in action there. Let's turn it off before it gets annoying. So continuous autofocus does basically what it says on the tin. You can tell by the lens there, as soon as I switched continuous autofocus on, the lens immediately started hunting. I wasn't pressing any buttons, I wasn't asking it to focus, but the lens immediately started hunting for focus. And that's because that's what continuous autofocus does. Now, normally without continuous autofocus switched on, the camera waits for you to activate the focus. Now you do that by either half pressing the shutter button or using back button focus to activate the focusing. With continuous autofocus, you don't need to do that. The camera is always trying to autofocus, always trying to find the subject. Now, apart from noise and continuous movement with a lens like the RF 85-2, which isn't the quietest lens in the world, what are the downsides to doing that? Well, as you can probably guess, because of that continuous lens movement, because of that continuous hunt for autofocus, continuous autofocus drains the battery. You're going to get far less battery life out of your R5, out of your R6, out of your EOS R, and even out of your RP. Far less battery life, because that continuous autofocus is always on. So why would you switch continuous autofocus on? Well, for fast moving subjects, especially subjects I find, and this is very personal when you would and wouldn't use it, but I find when I'm panning, as I was doing for vehicle tracking, when you're panning and just continuously shooting, I want that continuous autofocus on. I also use it for things like bird in flight photography as well, where a split second can make a difference between nailing a shot or not. On rare occasions, I would switch it on for young kids portrait photography, because sometimes you really do have to move so fast with young children to nail the shot, and just having that continuous autofocus function on in those situations can occasionally make the difference between getting the perfect shot and not. So I hope this has been useful if you weren't sure what that continuous autofocus setting did on your Canon R camera, and if it has been helpful, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up and click that like button down below. I've been Dave. This has been Let's Click Photography, and from me, for now,